why do you steal my job?
It wasn't yours at the time. I mean,
I did all of that for Logan and you just take it.
yeah.
How dare you? After I had moved on from editing for Logan Paul, he found a new editor, Gio. And I want to show you guys why Gio's editing and storytelling made him the perfect successor for the editing legacy that me and Logan had created.
You know,
There's your conflict.
That's the conflict.
Yes, he knows my style.
That's inspired from you.
Wait, that was not
No, it wasn't intentional. No.
That was not intentional? My favorite cut in this entire video. Yes, there it is. That moment gave clarity. High five for that. That's great work. That's the shit I like. By the way, this is a Hillier Smith exclusive. Usually, I would put this on the Editing Podcast, where we discover advanced editing from the editors of Across the Spider-Verse, Michelle Carre, David Fincher, and Dodford. It is a goldmine of learning editing and storytelling, so make sure you're subscribed to the Editing Podcast. For now, here's me and Gio's chat and editing breakdown. About a year and a half ago, I decided to, after roughly 8 years of working with Logan.
I thought it was around 5 or 6. You worked for him 8 years.
Well, it felt like 10 years. There was this moment when I decided to move on from Logan, and we shook hands, we called it a day, and I went out smugly going, it's gonna take ages for him to find a replacement. And then you came along, one of the first videos you did, and went, oh fuck, he found one.
Bro, that means a lot. But the good thing is with Logan is I didn't feel like I was doing it on my own. Because Logan had the experience of over those 8 years working closely with you, he knew the standard. So he was able to give me the correct notes and the correct, feedback to meet that standard. So the daunting part before that was I would deliver a video and he'd go, this is no way near the standard that I'm used to. What are we going to do now? But because he'd worked with you and together, I remember you saying in one of the other podcasts, like you'd grown creatively together so that you understood what made a good video. I would have thought there is absolutely no way that I could fill those shoes. And I still don't think I can.
You're good though.
Yeah.
You are really good at capturing the tone. You're really good at capturing the feeling. You are really good at capturing sort of the atmosphere and tone that I had helped design with Logan. And so to the untrained eye, it doesn't feel like there was a transition. But even for me, I could even give you a couple roasts here and there. There's a few things I know you could be doing better.
I would love that.
It's one of those weird things where it's like, even I still can't quite describe my editing style. Yeah. But I think the best way we can do is actually, let's just talk through a video.
Okay.
And so let's talk through the video that you just did with Logan, which was summarizing the fight that he just had with Dylan Danis.
I don't think he makes it past 2 rounds. If it does, I'm going to break him and I'm going to embarrass the shit out of him.
Contrast editing, yes!
Exactly.
He's going to gas out and I'm going to beat the shit out of him. He's an easy fight.
Did you did that similar because of the way that I did it on the Pokemon videos?
Before launching myself off the top rope at WrestleMania and securing the first win of my career.
I'm going to break him and I'm going to embarrass the shit out of him. He's going to gas out and I'm going to beat the shit out of him. He's an easy fight.
Obviously, things like that definitely inspired me. It was all about Logan's dealing with the sort of mental pressure of that Dylan brought. And I like the idea of him, this shot in particular, where he's sort of like there. Yeah. I wanted to do that for the fight, like sort of cut between the dressing room and the sort of solace, the calmness to the intensity of the atmosphere. You could hear all the things that Dylan was saying about him, and then we cut to actually a bit of a teaser. Because ultimately, the hook is just to get people in, to draw people in.
I don't think he makes it past 2 rounds. If it does, I'm going to break him and I'm going to embarrass the shit out of him.
Ready, hold on, roast. Well, I'm going to go straight away for the roast.
Let's do it.
You started with a moment of darkness, which is interesting, but I wonder if we were hearing it again straight from his perspective to see how this feels.
I don't think he makes it past 2 rounds. If it does, I'm going to break him and I'm going to embarrass the shit out of him.
Oh,
yeah. I think that works better, actually.
Yeah.
Dylan Danis is a coward. He's a predator now. Give him up, Ariel.
Wham. I love those little bombs.
It's very dramatic, but it hooks people in, you know?
Man, I just feel so bad for Nina. I did the fight, I chose the opponent, and I picked the worst human possible.
This is the first time that we've really seen from Logan him address how Nina's affected by it, what his thoughts are. Because in the lead up to the fight, obviously it was having an emotional effect on not just Logan, but Nina too.
What kind of coward attacks a girl like this?
He didn't really know how to address it because Dylan almost had what ultimately was a free money glitch in just saying anything that he wanted about Nina and it would get a response.
It all passes and it's all just noise, but she's not, this isn't her world. You know, she doesn't She doesn't understand that she has no business being dragged into this.
This is the first time, really, the audience are actually seeing that.
It's rare for Logan to be on the back foot.
Yeah.
Starting the story with that tone, that feeling, that idea. Essentially opening the video with that story beat was really important. So
We're starting this 50 days earlier. Like, this isn't fight week. We're not right there, day before the fight. We're getting a real sense of what the fight camp was like with this emotional pressure that Dylan put on.
I hope he shows up, you know? I hope he shows up.
And then you let the music transition next. I love that touch.
Keep chopping, come on. There we go, that's it, quick.
Obviously, Logan trains very intensely for these fights. And I wanted to basically just get across that with some of the most high intense training footage that we had.
What I liked a lot about that is because of the context of the scene prior, this felt different.
Yeah.
This was the answer towards the pain that he expressed. I'm used to this, but Nina isn't, so I'm gonna have to fight for her. And then you cut to him intensely training. He is putting up a fight.
Absolutely.
Without that context, this is just another training montage.
Yeah, I just purposely didn't use music there because, as I say, like, you know, the audience understand that with the juxtaposition, it already works. We don't need to kick in some high intense music.
She doesn't understand that she has no business being dragged into this.
Good, keep chopping, come on. There we go, that's it, quick.
It speaks for itself.
It speaks for itself, exactly.
So this next bit coming up is a really important moment in sort of building that story.
It's gonna be like taking candy from a baby.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All this is gonna pay off. Just don't
Feel good, just...
make it too personal.
No, I'm chilling.
You got me. No,
I'm chilling.
You understand what I mean by that?
Yeah.
It's not personal. It's gonna be business for you.
Business.
That is the theme of the video, not making it too personal. Dylan has tried to build the mental warfare to the point where he expects Logan to just go in there and be so agitated that he just wants to take his head off. And Logan realizes that to be at his best, he can't be like that.
He has to not let Dylan win the mental fight.
Exactly. We see now in the scene we're about to watch that Logan is taking it a bit personally.
Fight night is gonna be the biggest relief ever. 2 months of him tormenting my future wife. But I don't give a f how many people watch this fight. I don't give a shit about the pay-per-view sales. I don't give a f how much money I make. I just want to kill Dylan Danis.
In the previous scene, he's been saying to Milton, yep, not taking it too personally, not making it too personal. Now we see him go, I don't give a fuck about anything. I just want to kill him. He is taking it personally. You know?
There's your conflict.
That's the conflict.
Fuck
And that's why I use those two sort of scenes back to back.
You're now doing, I think, the classic save the cat sort of thing here. Want to beat Dylan Danis.
Yeah.
Need to protect Nina.
Yeah.
Flaw, he's made it too personal.
Exactly.
All of this has now been set up in, I think, 40 seconds.
Yeah, you know?
High five for that. That's fucking great work. That's the
appreciate
shit
that,
I
bro.
like.
I don't think he has the mind of a fighter. I know I'm gonna knock him out. I just see him quitting. You know, he's not a real fighter. I don't think he's ready for what I bring.
Do you think you're knocking Logan out?
Of course, I'm gonna kill him, bro.
Nice. I like that little touch there.
I'm gonna make this guy suffer. I'm gonna make him pay.
Nice. Nice timing there. So there's still elements of style, but it's still story motivated. That's a huge thing that so many filmmakers fail at. Of you can have some cool stylistic moments, such as, you know, when you had those punches at the same time of the drums. Many people will go towards that style, and then that's kind of it. But just bottom line, that whole sequence is still very story motivated.
Of course, and we don't want to we want to just go in and out. We don't want to have like a full-on 30-40 second training montage. I believe, how long is that altogether? So it's like 20 seconds basically of training there.
But that's a YouTube sensibility. If this was a Rocky movie, yes, the sequence can be about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But on YouTube, we'll have to be very conscious of repeating emotions because they have diminishing returns.
Of course.
And so it was important, as soon as the emotion was established and said and told, we do move on a lot more sooner.
Of course.
This was the moment when I watched this video, you have a really, really good understanding of the staple of the language that me and Logan had developed. And it is kind of just with the scene transitions in this sense. And so building up with the music, drum out, beat, slow fade in.
We just landed in Manchester.
I've never seen anyone else do that in that way on YouTube. And for you to do that, I was like, fuck, he knows my style.
That's inspired from you.
Yes.
Like, it's trying to figure it out. I mean, I spent years, like even before working with Logan, like watching your videos going, how are you able to transition between scenes? Because that's something that's really hard to do structurally, get from one scene to the next. And finding those sort of like moments in Final Cut where in any editing software where you can sort of bleed it out and keep the tone without having like a jarring cut is something that I picked up from you.
It is a signaling the transition and allowing the emotion of that sequence to kind of like fade away, echo away, but it's still just there.
Yeah.
We just landed in Manchester, the armpit of the UK. I don't know if they say that, but this place is always weird to me. It's sketchy, it smells bad, and the people are aggressive.
A little bit of comedy ingested
Yeah, just
in
a
there.
little bit. It's a really important thing for us. It's a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
We've got any emotions, but Logan's still a funny person.
You got to inject a bit of humor in there to get his personality across. I think that's important.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, son, you guessed it. 9 days out from the fight and your boy got sick.
I took the last 2 days off because I didn't want to...
J-cut. That's another staple thing that I do. I love J-cutting like that.
I learned that from you.
Yes.
I learned that from you.
And I'm trying, but this is very hard. It's just so sad for all parties involved. It's sad for the Pokemon community. Like how many fraudulent things are out there.
You guessed it. 9 days out from the fight and your boy got sick.
I took the last 2 days off because I didn't want to make the sickness any worse.
I can never really describe why I do it, but just in terms of documentary editing, those types of J-cutting just helps you skip time.
Yeah.
It can help you get towards the next point, but then also still signaling that what he just said is still connected to what he's saying next.
Of course. It makes those cuts less jarring as well because obviously you get the audio information before the visual information. That's something I picked up from one of your breakdown videos.
Yes. I'm actually curious then. I want to see what this looks like without the J-cut then.
Okay, let's do it.
9 days out from the fight and your boy got sick.
I took the last 2 days off.
It's just not as smooth.
It's just not smooth, yeah.
I'm telling you, he's gonna be a Girl Scout that night. And if you get him against the ropes and he's doing this squat,
And you're setting up something very important here.
Yeah. So make a note of that for later on.
Yeah. Won't tell you why, but you will find out.
Fight week, 5 days till Judgment Day. Yo, I'm ready to kill him, mother. I'm gonna collect this boy's scalp.
So you see what I'm saying? Like always referring back to those emotive words that he's using. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to collect his scalp. These are very intense words. These are phrases that would suggest that he is taking this personally, that he just wants to go in there and kill him.
Absolutely.
And it's finding that balance, and that's what the story is here.
It's focused. Like, this video has great focus.
Yeah.
So funny. I can't believe we got Chris Hansen.
Dylan Danis. Why does that sound so familiar? So I've got some transcripts here. I'm going to need you.
Bit of comedy, break it up again.
With this track that I used, when I found it, I was like, yeah, this works really well. And then when I was trying to find inspiration for this scene and some of the training montages, I actually went back to a video that you edited for Logan where he boxed. What was
The
that?
Gronk brothers.
The Gronk brothers. And I realized you actually used the same track.
So the WWE flew us out to Tampa for WrestleMania.
Yes, the rumors are true. I got dropped by Kevin Owens.
I didn't realize until after I'd used it in this part. You know what I mean? It's that subconscious thing where you try something and you go, I don't know, I may have heard this before, but it works.
But it's because we already use it in a Logan Paul video.
Exactly.
So the 99 Original series was the last piece of content that I was making for Logan before I handed it off to Gio. And in that series, I wanted to make a style that was memorable and nostalgic. Such as when Logan was outside the last blockbuster, I used a needle drop from a classic track from the 80s that takes you back there. Or my personal favorite needle drop from the series. These are all huge mainstream tracks, which used to be a nightmare to license in your YouTube video. Used to be. Licked is the tool to make licensing mainstream music accessible in your videos while keeping your monetization. No rev share split or anything. You license that song, you have the rights. They've got over 1 million mainstream tracks and more than 100,000 stock tracks at super affordable prices. And did you notice when I use those needle drops, you got that little sort of emotional spike? The right soundtrack is a massive secret in keeping your audiences engaged and therefore helping your channel grow. Go take a cheeky peek in Licked and get 50% off your first mainstream track and 14 days free stock music with the link in the description.
This is the real Chris Hansen. Yes.
So you need to
Okay,
take
Logan,
a
that's
seat
a good
right
one.
over
I'll give you that.
Right. Logan Paul and Dylan Danis are gonna go off the stage.
Cut to black. Love it. Yes.
Hold on.
That's great.
Yeah, I know, Neil. I'm bleeding like a mother, bro.
Fantastic.
Okay, so obviously we had the high intense music that we used. We build it up. Logan's getting all the wins. He's bringing out Chris Hansen. He's dunking on Dillon. He throws the bottle at Dillon, which is an example of Logan, losing his calm a bit. And we've realized at this point we've set the theme of the video. That is an example of him losing his cool. He should never have thrown the bottle. And he paid for that because as soon as he threw the bottle, then Dillon grabs the microphone and slams it into Logan's eye. Yeah. And then when we cut to black, we realize, oh shit, something's gone wrong here.
It helps in the perspective of Logan because it feels like, he's getting back in control. He's in charge of it. But then with cutting to black, even now the video is breaking because the story's breaking. Yeah. It helps raising the stakes. It is helping communicating to everyone that Logan, as you said, lost his cool. Yeah. Good.
He looks scared.
He does. The thing
we're leading up to my favorite cut in this entire video.
Oh, really?
I think if this is it,
He does work me up. I want to kill him.
Yeah, you gotta
I want to kill him. So that's what I learned from that.
The mental battle is still there.
I'm gonna have to work harder than I thought to be chill.
Do you not get it? So I just need to be chill. And then you cut to him in an ice bath.
Oh, right.
Wait, that was not
it wasn't intentional. No.
That was not intentional?
No.
Oh my God.
That wasn't intentional.
Okay, happy accident then. Subconsciously, I bet you.
Maybe. I think it might be a subconscious decision.
I'm going to have to work harder than I thought to be chill.
It's going to be chill. Cut to him in an ice bath.
I'll never see that the same way now.
I can't believe that wasn't intentional, but it's still so funny. I remember the first time I saw that, I laughed out loud. Yeah. Fuck.
JJ's team promised Jake safe passage as long as he doesn't pull any quote-unquote funny business.
You tell JJ's team, I'm promising them safe passage.
This is a very Jake Paul thing. Yeah. Great. You're still bringing in those moments of character.
Not the other way around.
I think just to break it up at this point.
Yeah.
Bro,
the calm before the storm of the fight.
Yeah.
Figured out how we're gonna go into this fight as emotionless and calm, relaxed, and having fun as possible. Did a meditation yesterday. I forgive Dylan.
Then he used that to music cue and transition. Fantastic.
For a night of boxing entertainment, X Series 10, the Prime Card.
Proud of you, bro.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, man.
For real, for real.
This is a little moment. Insane. As somebody who followed Logan's story through fighting JJ and stuff, these little moments of them where it's candid, them two together, is a little reward for people like me who followed everything.
It is. It's still weird today.
Yeah, I know.
Even
for you, especially.
Yeah, we went through the ringer with JJ, and then they're in the Manchester Arena, where 5 years ago they thought they had a fight, and where Logan's career was about to end, and now the same tension is there again. It's a genuinely full, beautiful moment. I think if I was editing this, I would have experimented with that narrative. I don't think I would have made it work.
Yeah, that would have been really good. The only thing I will say is because the Dylan Danis narrative was so
strong, this would have been distracting.
Yeah, potentially.
I would have tried it, but if I couldn't have made it work, I would have cut it. But it's an interesting sentiment anyway.
Well, obviously we're finally here, all the talk done. You're about to fight a guy who's made this very personal. How do you stop yourself from fighting with emotion out there?
I reached a little bit of a zen moment last night because he has made it so personal, and how do you not go in there wanting to murder this human being?
So this is almost a bookend as well, because this is the same shot we used to open the video originally. Yeah, we've seen all of the journey so far. We've seen how personally he took it at times, where it went wrong for him, and we're back at the same point again. But at the beginning it was presented with intensity and angst, and now it's being presented with tranquility and calmness. The audience are in a different spot right now.
Fuck yeah. God damn it, G, you're really good at this.
I'm just gonna go in there, do my job, stay focused, do what I have to do tonight. I know what I'm good at, I know my skills, I know how I'm gonna beat him, and I'm gonna go in there.
Nice slow motion, all of this.
Be aggressive and fight with ego.
Well,
fight with skill and
now that we're cutting to these B-roll shots, because there is now the moment before a fight, the whole feeling is kind of ethereal. There's this weird, tense magic towards it all, and so cutting to these moments of slow motion and those sort of builds, it just helps towards that sort of feeling of this out of this world experience. Of course, it is. Yeah.
And I didn't want to use intense music. I didn't want to use sort of tribal music or anything. I felt at this moment the calmness is the most important thing, and that's what I wanted to get across by using that nice soft score with no percussion or anything.
Keep on jabbing, Logan. Keep him at bay.
Dannis really hasn't thrown a significant punch yet, halfway through round one.
You're throwing a lot of punches. You gotta let him come so you can throw. He's walking into everything.
Logan wants to engage. Dylan Danis needs to engage. He is just talking non-stop.
Telling good story for the audio.
Good movement! Good movement!
So this is the big highlight of the fight.
If you get him against the ropes and he's doing this.
Yes, there it is.
As hard as you can.
That was like a last-minute decision.
Really?
I remember thinking, because I was going through and I went back to that scene.
You get him against the ropes and he's doing this. Squat.
Hold on a minute. That was the moment where in the fight, he did do that.
Dannis got clipped there. He's not firing back.
Yeah, he did.
I was like, would it be weird if I put it in there? Because it's kind of jarring in a sense. Like, I guess a lot of the feedback I got was it kind of worked.
Well, I liked it because I think it re-emphasized the emotional place that Logan was in, where he managed to forget the emotional aspect and then went into pure training, pure boxing. Cutting back to that just emphasized that Logan was in the right headspace. Of
course.
That's why it worked really well for me.
That's a good point, yeah.
And the fight's over. He's broken mentally.
Well, right now, Logan Paul does not fear Dylan Danis at all. He hasn't taken a shot. He hasn't taken one to the face. He doesn't fear him whatsoever.
Oh, he's doing the old Anderson Silva.
You lose the crowd.
That's when you know he lost. That's when Dylan knew he lost. It was embarrassing.
It's a piece of cake. Jabs up and down his guy.
Like embarrassing for him.
Absolutely.
I think he really just doesn't want to get knocked out.
No, this is a fucking boxing lesson.
There it is.
That's a great shot.
Point away.
That's the first moment. Didn't work for him.
The suck dick moment.
And this was the exciting part of everything. This was the ultimate payoff at the end. It's like Logan was getting hounded on Twitter by everyone. A lot of people probably in that arena that night were supporting Dylan.
Yeah.
And at this moment, when they realized Dylan came to not even fight, not do anything,
Just be a clown.
everyone then turned to support Logan.
Yeah.
You know, so it was the tides were shifting at this point.
But these past 2 months have not been easy. Sometimes the devil will make his way into your life. He will try to break you down spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. But you rely on your support system. You believe in yourself and your character, and no amount of darkness can overtake you, I promise. I promise. You look the devil in his eyes and you do what I did tonight, and you eliminate that bitch from your life.
And just have no music there, just like it'll bleed out.
You're one of the few editors that understands telling a really good story doesn't mean putting more in. It actually might be sometimes taking things out.
Yeah.
And so by having the music swell up, by having the crowd, like, cutting to silence.
And you eliminate that bitch from your life.
And then we just see that shot, him not hearing the crowds.
Yeah.
That moment gave clarity.
Yeah.
He won. He owns the world. And that's actually kind of peaceful.
Oh, absolutely. It's a moment of pure relief because we've seen throughout the video the build-up of the mental battle and everything with Nina, with the eye, with getting sick before the fight. There was all of these lows for the ultimate high. And we had the moment where he had the passionate speech in the ring, and now it's the relief.
And you eliminate that bitch from your life.
But I think then, like, with all we've talked about, you showing me the breakdown of that video, I think you, and then also acknowledging that the history me and Logan have had. Honestly, I think you have been the best person to follow up in working with Logan. And when I found out that you got the job, it was like, perfect casting. I think I like to think about hiring an editor as the same way as you would be casting an actor.
Yeah.
You growing up enjoying Logan's content, you with your experience as well in editing as well, and then also still putting in your old touches, but then also acknowledging the creative history that me and Logan have had. I'm just really proud of you. And I'm really proud of what you're doing. And then also, again, it's me choosing to move on from Logan. I was really worried that I think that style and that quality can potentially be lost. I'm actually really relieved that you were able to recapture it. And also, I would say, starting improving on it as well. Logan was a fantastic brother for me, and he still is today. I'm still so glad that he is still able to make his content today, and you supporting him as well. So, thank you.
No, honestly, and I that means a lot. That honestly does mean a lot. I've always said this, that you are the GOAT in the scene. And as long as I work with Logan, there will always be a homage to that style, and it'll always be there. And, you know, whenever you give me good feedback, like I say to my girlfriend, obviously gives me feedback a lot. My mum gives me feedback, my family. But for some reason, when you give me the positive feedback, it always means far more. So I appreciate you having me on. It's been a great chat and so much fun, yeah.
I will watch your career with great interest.
Likewise.
Thank you, mate.
My guy.